Fresh off winning the Premier League, a strong run in the Champions League, and a promising start to the transfer window, you'd think the club wouldn't need to change much, right? Well, Arne Slot seems to think otherwise, as he's already started making adjustments to his coaching staff. John Heitinga, who was one of Slot's assistants last season, has left to become Ajax's new head coach. That move makes sense, the Ajax job doesn't come around too often, and for Heitinga, it's a big step forward. But the real shake-up has happened in the goalkeeping department. Both Fabian Otte, the head of first-team goalkeeping, and Claudio Taffarel, the long-time keeper coach, have moved on in recent weeks. So, who are the new faces joining Arne Slot on the bench next season? What do they bring to the table? That's exactly what we're diving into in today's video. If you're excited to find out, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. With some big names heading out, who's walking through the door at Anfield? So far, 2 new arrivals are confirmed. Dutch legend Giovanni van Bronckhorst will step in as assistant coach, and Spaniard Xavi Valero is returning as head of first-team goalkeeping. Yes, that name might sound familiar. Valero was part of Rafa Benitez's backroom staff and originally left the club back in 2007. So, what exactly does Gio van Bronckhorst bring to Anfield under Arne Slot? In a word, pedigree, and just as important, a shared football philosophy. As a player, Van Bronckhorst had an elite career. He starred for Arsenal and Barcelona, then went on to captain the Netherlands to the World Cup final in 2010. And let's not forget that thunderbolt of a goal he scored against Uruguay. Yeah, that one's still living rent-free in all our heads. Who knows, maybe he can pass on a shooting tip or two to Darwin if he sticks around. Jokes aside, Gio's coaching record is nothing to brush off either. He won the Eredivisie with Feyenoord in 2016-17, led Rangers to a Scottish Cup win, and took them all the way to the Europa League final. He's also had spells with Guangzhou and most recently Besiktas. Across all of those clubs, he's stayed consistent with one thing: his style. Gio prefers dynamic possession-based football, usually built around a classic Dutch 4-3-3. That fits perfectly with Slot's approach. Both believe in controlling matches through the midfield, using quick passing and creating overloads on the flanks. It's a system that thrives on intelligent movement, pressing triggers, and constant interplay between fullbacks and midfielders. It's no surprise then that Slot personally pushed to bring Van Bronckhorst in. He values Gio's big tournament experience and sees him as someone who can strengthen the coaching unit right away. Van Bronckhorst also worked with Manchester City's academy in the past, and has had exposure to Pep Guardiola's methods, so he's no stranger to the finer details of modern possession football. In training, he's expected to take on a hands-on role with the players, helping polish individual skills and refining tactical awareness, much like John Heitinga did. In many ways, Van Bronckhorst adds even more Dutch football DNA to Liverpool. Both he and Slot are true students of total football, all about vertical passing, sharp pressing, and intelligent movement across the pitch. Van Bronckhorst's teams have often looked to press high, lure opponents into traps, and then hit back with quick punishing counters. He's spoken before about wanting to form his own identity and philosophies as a coach. But one thing has stayed consistent, which is that Dutch 4-3-3 attacking shape. Compared to Heitinga, who was still a promising young coach learning on the job, Van Bronckhorst brings something more polished. He's got Champions League experience, a few trophies under his belt, and a deeper understanding of what it takes to handle the pressure of top-level football. He's been through the ups and downs, from knockout heartbreaks to title celebrations, so he knows what it means to manage in big moments. In short, he's a natural fit to help carry Slot's style forward. A system that's all about keeping the ball, being aggressive going forward, and always having a solid structure behind the attack. With Van Bronckhorst on board, the coaching setup gains not just experience, but someone who truly gets the blueprint Slot wants to follow. At the same time, Liverpool's goalkeepers are getting a new guru, or actually a familiar one. Xavi Valero returns as head goalkeeper coach after 7 years away. A former Spanish pro, Valero first arrived at Anfield back in 2007 under Rafa Benitez and was a key figure in helping Pepe Reina hit peak form. He was also known for his obsessive preparation. Fernando Torres once said Valero used to give him every tiny detail about the goalkeepers he was about to face, and El Nino even called him a genius for how well prepped he felt before games. After leaving Liverpool, Valero followed Benitez across Europe, working at Inter, Chelsea, Napoli, and Real Madrid. Most recently, he spent 7 years at West Ham, where he worked quietly behind the scenes helping develop consistent, reliable keepers. Now he's back in the Liverpool setup, and he'll be working closely with Alisson, Mamardashvili, and the rest of the keeper group. According to Valero himself, the modern game has changed massively, and goalkeepers now need to be complete players. That means sharp distribution, confident sweeping up behind a high line, and of course doing the main job, which is keeping the ball out of the net. This modern sweeper-keeper mindset fits Arne Slot's system perfectly. Liverpool like to press high and hold the line upfield, so Valero's focus on positioning and reading the game will be key. He often says that keepers today need to be in the right position at the right time, even if they never touch the ball. In practical terms, Valero will be drilling Alisson and Mamardashvili on building play from the back, reacting to pressure, and knowing when to step up or stay. It's a skill set Alisson already excels at, but for Mamardashvili, it's an area where there's still room to grow. Valero's return could be just what he needs to make that next step. Now, is replacing Fabian Otte and Taffarel with just one man, Valero, really a good move? Otte played a big part in Liverpool's title win last season, even if he was still new to coaching at the top level. Taffarel, a legendary shot stopper in his playing days, focused heavily on technique under Klopp and brought a calm, experienced presence. And let's not forget, we're talking about one coach coming in to replace two. But Valero brings something different. His resume is packed with high-level experience, and his approach is far more analytical. He's worked with some of the best keepers in Europe and understands the tactical side of goalkeeping inside out. Under him, we should expect a sharper, more aggressive training routine. In fact, one report suggests the rivalry between Alisson and Mamardashvili could heat up quickly with Valero overseeing things. Simply put, there won't be room for anyone to slack off. When your coach helped prep Reina and Gulaxi for a Champions League final, you know he'll demand nothing less than the best. All things considered, these hires slot perfectly into Arne Slot's vision for the next evolution of this Liverpool team. His version of Liverpool already looks exceptional, high pressing, quick transitions, and aggressive ball control. Van Bronckhorst brings proven attacking ideas and big game experience, while Valero tightens things at the back with serious attention to detail. And crucially, these changes weren't made at random. Reports say Slot himself drove the decisions. He's keeping parts of the old system that worked, like Zipke Holshoff staying on as his number 2, while adding fresh minds that match his philosophy. By bringing in a veteran Dutch football thinker and a Guardiola-era keeper coach, Liverpool is sharpening its tools. We'll still see the high-tempo, possession-based style we're used to, but now with even more precision and fewer slip-ups in key moments. As fans, we might not notice these new faces on the touchline right away, but in the fine-tuned tactics, smarter training sessions, and sharper performances, the players definitely will, all season long. So, with all these changes behind the scenes, it's clear that Arne Slot isn't wasting any time shaping Liverpool in his own image. The additions of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst and Xavi Valero are about raising standards. Whether it's improving attacking movement, pressing patterns, or goalkeeper decision-making, every detail matters at the top level. But what do you think? Do you like the look of this new coaching team? Are you excited to see how Van Bronckhorst's experience and Valero's methods translate on the pitch? And do you think Mamardashvili has what it takes to push Alisson for that number 1 spot? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Also, do you think these changes will be enough to keep Liverpool competing on all fronts this season? Or are there still key areas you'd like to see improved? If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives, updates, and analysis as the season builds up. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.